It is 6 o'clock on Monday, October 23rd. I call this meeting of the Clear Creek Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that this meeting has been duly called, that its notice has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Our first item on the agenda is closed session. And the board will now move to closed session as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Section 551.001 concerning purposes permitted by the Act, including 551.071 consultation with attorney, 551.072 deliberation regarding real property, 551.074 deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignments, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public employee, or to hear a complaint or charge against an employee. And the time is 6:01.
So I have some friends from Armand Bayou. Thank you. Okay, friends, you know what? There's a flag right behind us. Can you all look over there? Perfect. Yeah, we're going to turn around. Are you ready? Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to these Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated in just a minute, Terrapins. We are so excited that you're here. Thank you so much. And we wanted to, y'all stay up here. No, y'all stay up here for just a minute. We're so excited that y'all are here. And first of all, and tell us, what job do you do at school? First of all, give us your name. And do y'all have a special job at school? I heard you might do some broadcasting. Is that what you do? Okay. Well, tell us, first of all, we're going to just tell us your name.
I'm Jalen Millian, and I am an ABE broadcaster.
ABE broadcaster.
I'm Gabriel Russell, and I'm also an ABE broadcaster.
Okay.
I'm Ben Duran, and I'm also an ABE broadcaster.
I'm Molly Miller, and I'm an ABE broadcaster.
There's a trend of AB broadcasters. Tell us what that means. Yes.
It means that you would perform, well, not perform, but you would give news to the ABE students of Armand Bayou.
Okay, so do you give it to all the students? Yes. Everyone in the whole school? Okay, and every morning?
Yes.
All right, do y'all do it every morning?
No.
Oh, you take turns? Take turns, okay. Well, I think I've seen that studio over there. It's pretty impressive. That's exciting.
They do it all themselves. They assign themselves positions every morning, so they know how to, they're very flexible with their jobs, so they assign themselves different positions every morning. And our counselor's usually in there and our librarian, but they're just there just to, supervise. But they do it all. Very, very proud of them. They have special broadcasters. They go over the weather, the lunch. We go over our character chant. We do all kinds of things. So.
And this is a lighthouse school. Can you tell us about that? Being a lighthouse school.
Yes. So we are a Lighthouse school. We've been a Leader in Me school for about 7 years now, and we have received Lighthouse 2 times before. So that just shows that we are an exemplary school and that we love for other campuses to come and watch what our students do. Every year we try to build on what we've done and make it better. So we really interview our students, and we definitely want to use their voice to see what they would like their school to become every year. So it's different and it's wonderful. We have a great community support from our PTA and everyone that lives in our community, and we're very proud of the accomplishments that our students have made.
These are our Leader in Me, and we also have Falcon Pass Elementary that is also a lighthouse school. So we're so proud of these students and your leadership and your leaders, the adult leaders, the principal, the adult leaders, the student leaders. Anybody else here from Falcon Pass? Wave your hand. Parents? No, just students. Oh, woohoo! Yes, Miss Speaks, we love it. That's right. Yeah, Miss Jupri and I'm sorry, Falcon Pass, but Armand Bayou. Now we'll do Armand Bayou. Yes, there we go. Armand friends, thank you all so much. Well, thank you very much. Y'all were amazing. Thank you all so much. Yes. Okay, well, we have a An adult leader that we're going to celebrate. We have a Gold Star leader to recognize tonight. Robin Sabo, Clear Creek ISD Social Studies Coordinator, has been selected for the prestigious Billy Siles Distinguished Service Award from the Texas Council of Social Studies. This honor is given to an educator who has contributed to the social studies profession in Texas and the nation in ways that advance student achievement and adult professional learning. Robin was nominated by her peers. She will be honored next week at the annual conference of the Texas Council for Social Studies. And Ms. Sabo, would you please come up here? Yes. Dr. Silva, come on up. And I know, and she does all the work behind the scenes, but in years, and she has done so much, like she said, or like I said, both locally, statewide, and also nationally. I had the privilege of writing a little reference for it, and I could not believe her resume. So of all the things that you do, can you tell us one thing that you really enjoy doing?
Well, I mean, I think it's working with our kids and our teachers to help them connect with the community and connect with the content and vote. Get out and vote.
Okay. A great social studies coordinator. Thank you, Robin. Okay, and we are now going to highlight some students. We are very proud of the 8 CCISD students who were selected to display their artwork at the annual Texas Association of School Board Administrators and Texas Association of School Board Administrators and Texas Association of School Boards, TASB, Fall Conference in Dallas this past September, I'm sorry. We were all there. Like, we just went there. It was September. I know. Feels like months ago. No, we were there. Every trustee was there, as a matter of fact, and many of us were there. And I think we agreed that the CCISD artwork was the best on display. We might be a little prejudiced, but that's okay. And please, if you're here, I'm going to call out your name. Leighton Bass, Parr Elementary. Come on up, Leighton. Yes. Connor Horsfield, North Point Elementary. Abigail Reichert, Seabrook Intermediate. Anastasia Gonzalez, Clear Creek High School. Georgina Hayden, Clear Creek High School. Iris Jew, Clearbrook High School. Honey Ortiz, Clearbrook High School. And Lotus Pandolf, Clearbrook High School. And will their art teachers and principals and directors please come up if you're in attendance tonight? Oh, thank you.
Might have to, yeah. Aaron, you need to be on the front row. Aaron.
Move yourself around so you can see.
Okay, well, and before y'all go, we're gonna just stay up here with, look, you have a lot of people that are here supporting y'all tonight. We're so impressed. Can you tell us what inspired you to do your art piece? Anybody?
Well, it just kind of, my mom's an art teacher at our school, so it just kind of. I kind of just started doing it, and I just kept on doing it, and I started to like it.
What was it about? What was your art piece about?
Well, we did a cake and it was on a little stand, and we got to decorate it however we wanted. And at the time that we did it, it was close to my birthday, so and I was turning 10, so I did a 10 on top of it, and I did an ice cream cone. And
Nice. Well, thank you for volunteering. Anybody else? Maybe somebody on the high school end? What inspired you?
I like frogs and I like cowboys, so I drew a frog with a cowboy hat.
Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Yeah. Oh, yes. We kind of recognize. Yes, yes, yes. Just amazing artists that we have. We are so blessed, and thank you, parents, for sharing these students with us. We are truly blessed. Parents, wave. Oh, there's a cheering section. That's great. Yes. They don't do it alone, right? Right, Mom? Thank y'all so much. Thank you and congratulations. All right. And drug and alcohol prevention education for us is a year-round effort. However, the week of October 23rd has been proclaimed a National Red Ribbon Week. Throughout this week, our schools will be celebrating how one person can make a difference in making our school community drug-free. In accordance with the proclamation that we will sign tonight, teachers, staff, students, and parents of Clear Creek Independent School District commit to participating in events that spread awareness and education about the dangers of alcohol and other drugs. One important partner in this effort is the Bay Area Alliance for Youth and Families. Will Executive Director Amanda McLaughlin, staff, and volunteers come forward for a photograph, followed by a presentation from Ms. McLaughlin and her team.
Sure.
Ms. McLaughlin, y'all don't go anywhere, just right here. They are front and center stage, and she's going to give us a presentation, and we are just so grateful for what y'all do for our school and our greater community. It's just so grateful. And so we're going to learn more about it right now. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Like Dr. Eagle said, my name is Amanda McLaughlin. I was just calculating this on the way here. This is my 13th time to celebrate Red Ribbon Week with the school board. It would be 14 if we hadn't had COVID. But I've been here 14 years, just celebrated 2 weeks ago. So it's exciting to think about where the Alliance has come from. But we are celebrating. We're celebrating. Do you want me to just sit down? Okay. I'm not very good at sitting. Sorry. Okay, so we're celebrating our 20th anniversary of serving this community and our partnership with Clear Creek ISD, which is a big anniversary, and it's been a lot of fun. Just so you all know, our mission is the Alliance serves, supports, and inspires students and families to build a healthier community for all. We're going to do a couple of updates. Update on our 5th of 5 years of our HHSC grant, which is Health and Human Services Commission. We're going to talk about our Clear Creek ISD Community Coalition and the way that we support CCISD year-round. Just one note, and as we celebrate our 20 years, we have decided to do 20 random acts of kindness in the community. And so you may see some things popping up. We're planning something fun here at the ESC for staff soon, and we'll make sure you guys are also invited. So we think that the world can never have too much kindness. So we are in year 5 of a 5-year funding cycle. It has brought in over $3.5 million in the last 5 years. Since CCISD is our fiscal agent for those funds, that means CCISD has helped us to spend those funds, and so we've been able to really pour some of that back into the district. Some highlights are we have an evidence-based curriculum small group that we do. We have served 21 campuses and 653 students through this project. It's a small group of one facilitator to no more than 12 students, and they're all students that have been identified by their counselors as just needing some additional support. We're also focused, and in your bags you got tonight, on 988, which is a hotline that was put out just last summer, but it's 3 numbers. You can text it, you can call it, and it is an immediate hotline for someone who may be in a crisis, or if you're assisting someone in a crisis who may be having some thoughts of self-harm. We also have done a lot of stress reduction and trauma healing projects. I use that because that is the exact nomenclature in our grant funding, and I'll talk a little bit about that. We've also done 356 presentations, including almost 11,000 students and just over 9,000 adults attending those presentations. And they've been on anything from vaping to fentanyl to stress and healthy coping skills. And we are excited to do another 356 more. Our CCISD Community Coalition has been focused on 3 major targets. One is our response to vaping. As we know, it has definitely been an impact on classroom instruction. So we've been doing presentations. We have offered in-depth. It is another evidence-based curriculum created by the American Lung Association to really help kids who are vaping to identify why they vape, some of the things that could help them stay busy with their fingers, or the other things that are sort of triggers, and we address some healthy coping skills that can help them refocus their energies. We also have made and continue to make smoke shop visits where we deliver calendars reminding smoke shops that we're watching as a community and that it is illegal for them to sell to anyone under the age of 21. We also have had a coordinated fentanyl response with presentations. We've also, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in depth, but resources for our school nurses so that they can respond adequately should someone have a fentanyl poisoning on campus and a secondary campus. We also have done 27 medication takebacks in the last 14 years, and we've collected over 33,000 pounds of medications. Our next one is actually this Saturday, but it provides an opportunity for people to clean out their medicine cabinets in a way that is safe not only to our kids, but also to the environment. This is also Red Ribbon Week, and so we provided red ribbons to all Clear Creek ISD elementary schools, bracelets to all CCISD intermediate schools, plus the high schools that opted in, which were Horizons, View, Brook, and Falls. We have student presentations at Bayside, Brook, Landault, View, Seabrook, Westbrook, and Whitcomb over the next week and a few days. And then this is a picture of the Fallen Stars exhibit that we worked with Clearview administration to create and put out, just as a reminder to kids that of what can happen at the end of the road for some people who choose a life with drugs and alcohol. Our theme this year for Red Ribbon Week is be safe, be kind, and be drug-free. So here are some of the ways it's been really fun to partner with CCISD and support some of the projects and initiatives that were already happening, one of which is the Elementary Parent Academy. So last year we provided lunch for participants, and then we did some special handouts. This year it's been really fun to work with Holly and her team. We are not only providing lunch, but we're also providing tools for each session that's being offered for parents. I was just having a conversation with Monica Jufrey about they're doing some Leader in Me sessions for families, and so we're providing the books that will go alongside those Leader in Me sessions for families. We've also provided calming kits and math manipulatives and other things that are going to help these parents be more successful as they guide their children through those elementary years. We also partnered with Keonshea Bernard and Monica Speaks last year to do a transitions conference. It'll be renamed this year, but it was really designed to focus on parents and high school students because they are prepared academically for what's next. We know that. We know that we have a world-class education here in Clear Creek ISD, but what about budgeting? What happens when you're on that college campus and they say, I'll give you a t-shirt if you sign up for this credit card? What about managing medications? How do they do those kinds of things once they get to be on their own and they're young adults? And so we had a lot of community partners come in, provide sessions on these things, time management, you name it. And so we look to do that again this coming year. Also last year, we were so excited. One of the things, we had a meeting with some wraparound services, and Holly and I started talking about some of the barriers to teachers attending some of the sessions that Tony Davila and his team were providing, because they were providing them during the school day. And so a teacher who's already having some behavioral challenges in the classroom, they leave the classroom for 4 hours. What do they come back to? More behavioral problems because there was a sub, right? And so we offered to pay for up to 100, it ended up being more than 100 teachers to attend on a Saturday. So we actually paid them an hourly rate to be there for that Empower to Thrive conference. We are already making plans to do that again this year in January, February timeframe, because we want to give these teachers all the tools they need to handle those challenges. We've also partnered with facilities. We paid $100,000 toward the Whitcomb playground. We also paid for Brookwood's pre-K playground to be rebuilt. I think it had been condemned. So we were very excited to be able to provide something because every pre-K kid needs a chance to get that energy out, right? We also provided a new shade structure at Wedgwood Elementary and replaced shade coverings at North Point, Falcon Pass, and Gilmore. Also next week, we have wellness kits. We're big Ted Lasso fans in our office that have a Believe theme, and they are going to be distributed to almost 6,000 staff in CCISD. We've also supported CCISD counselors through a stipend of $275 to purchase items that could help them in their own offices and as they work with students. We also partner with them for the Youth Connection small groups. We do presentations, and we just did a partnership to collect new car seats for student moms, and so we're kind of working on that as a project. And the nurses, we have two of the best lead nurses, they're amazing. And so it's been fantastic to work with them. We had a meeting last year, and one of the nurses said that the main barrier to having Narcan on our secondary campuses was that they didn't have a physician's order, and they couldn't find a physician who would write a standing order for that. And I said, okay. And so I called a colleague at UTMB, and within 2 days, UTMB had sent an email to Dr. Engel and every superintendent in Galveston County offering to write a standing order so that these nurses' clinics could carry this very life-saving drug. And so we not only did that, we got them their first round of Narcan so that our nurses' offices were stocked with what they needed. And then we also partnered with that same colleague to train all of our nurses, and it was fantastic. Like, we had, I don't know, 15 anesthesiologists all in the cafeteria at Clearview, and teachers on the ground and practicing real life, what might happen in that case. We also did a period poverty drive the beginning of the year because nurses were saying that they were having to buy these period products out of their own pockets. And so we were able to collect and distribute among all of the nurses because every single nurse in CCISD faces this challenge. We also were made aware that our elementary nurses last year were running out of underwear for students who had accidents. And so we did a collection for that as well. This year, we're going to be distributing go bags, Narcan go bags to every clinic. So it's not enough just to have the Narcan. They have to have ambu bags. They have to have nasal suction devices. They want to have a stethoscope and all of the other things that they may need to respond to an emergency like that. And that's it. My last thing I wanted to say is that in this time where we are focused a lot on budgetary constraints, I just want to make it clear. People ask us all the time. We don't cost the district money. Not only do we bring in all of these funds into CCISD, but we also the district can take something called indirect costs, which is a little over $30,000 a year for the past 3 years that help pay for our space and other things that would ultimately, fall in the district. So I just wanted you guys to know that we are thrilled to have this partnership, and we look forward to the next 5 years of serving CCISD.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I don't have a question. I just want to make a comment. So I'm fortunate enough to serve on your board and very blessed to see all the wonderful things that y'all do. Your staff is here with you, and thank y'all for being here and supporting every one of y'all back there. I know each one of you have a different grant and a different goal, and you work with, Friends with ISD as well with FISD Cares. But so often I think of our wraparound services of being behind the scenes, but you're everywhere. And a lot of people don't realize it. Everything from your covered playgrounds to making sure the nurses have the Narcan. That took a lot of work, and y'all did that. And we're very thankful to have y'all in our district, and we're really blessed for it. I did want to ask you to please promote how can people find out about the medication take-backs, where they can find out where to go drop those off, because 33,000 pounds, that's a lot.
We have 4 sites this Saturday. We'll be at Harris County Precinct 8, which is right behind the library, so you can vote and you can drop off your meds all in one step. We also will be at the Friendswood ISD Annex in partnership with Friendswood PD. We'll be at League City PD and also Nassau Bay PD. And all of that information can be found on the AllianceBayArea.net. Org. Yes.
The AllianceBayArea.org. Yeah. Okay. And board member, I know you've got Ann Hammond and Ms. Speaks back there as well. Thank you for you
Our
doing
president of our board has got a new baby, so she's at home with baby.
as well. And that was a great picture of y'all. Where was that?
Dancing with the Stars, our annual fundraiser, and we do clean up pretty well, which is nice. And Evita Cardenas is the new reigning champ of Dancing with the Stars. She did a fantastic job, was so much fun, and oh goodness, yep, that's us after a long day.
And I think CCISD has won it 2 years in a row now.
It's true. They are the reigning champs 2 years in a row.
I may have known these things. Thank y'all. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Cottrell. Any other comments?
I was just going to say, probably out of your 13, I've been there for 8. And just watching you work with our students, work with our staff, the support you give, the salsa, over at Clearview is just fantastic. And, my fellow board members, I implore you, if you get a chance to, attend one of those events and let the kids, take you on a tour of you or show you around or escort you, down to the library and have a chance to interact with them. You guys, provide that comfort, I think, and get those kids out of their shell. And just to be able to see that is amazing. And I the last thing I want to say is the good that you do. I'm happy for you as well, and congratulations on your engagement.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
so congratulations.
I don't think I saw that on the slide.
Yes,
gotta-
I'm
you gotta-
47. I'm getting married
You
for the
gotta know
first
your
time, so we
community.
have
I
to
didn't
celebrate,
see that.
right?
You gotta know your community.
And thank you from the board. I would also just echo so much appreciation for your leadership and for your commitment. I think all of the stats and the data that you shared, all of the examples of things that you all do every day does not happen because it's a job. It's definitely a passion and a commitment that you and your team and the board all shares. And so the district is really the beneficiary. The community is a beneficiary of that. And so, you talked about 14 years, 13 years, if you don't count the COVID year. And so while you talk about the next 5 years, I would say let's look forward to the next 14 years and just imagine the positive impact that you all will continue to have. So thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Definitely as part of our recognition of Red Ribbon Week and then all of the other great things that you do to focus on student health and wellness and assisting all of our teachers and staff that are in such important roles for that. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is our district update.
Okay, thank you. Our principals are our Gold Star leaders who create a culture of belonging for adults and children alike. They are instructional leaders who are intentional about student achievement, progress, and social and emotional growth. To them, we say thank you. October is National Principals Appreciation Month. We ceremoniously cut the ribbon on the new Ross Elementary. The beautifully renovated school was completed this summer. It was wonderful to tour the school through the eyes of children. We will be holding a ribbon cutting for Whitcomb Elementary on November the 10th. Today is the beginning of early voting in the November 7th election. It is very important that eligible voters head to the polls. Clear Creek ISD has 3 propositions on the ballot. Proposition A asks voters to consider sharing 3 of their 17-cent tax rate reduction back with the school district to balance the budget, pay for staff, school safety, and student programs. We are not alone. Many school districts in Texas are holding tax rate elections due to inflation and the fact that the state has not increased its per student allotment since 2019. If approved, the state will match up to 80% of the local revenue generated. Proposition B is for school bonds to pay for capital improvements in student school safety infrastructure and priority repairs. The $265 million bond can be funded through the existing tax rate of 27 cents. Instructional technology must be on its own proposition because of a recent law change. Proposition C, if approved by voters, will provide $37 million in funding for student and staff computers and assistive technology. Additional information is on our website and an election guide is in the mail. The 3rd special session is underway in Austin. We are closely monitoring bills that have been introduced that relate to school choice and public funding. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Engel. The next item on our agenda is community input. The purpose of community input is for the entire board to receive feedback from citizens. The board will hear the public comments but will not respond except as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act. To respond to an inquiry by a member of the public or by a board member with a statement of specific factual information, a recitation of existing policy, or to deliberate a proposal to place a subject on the agenda for a subsequent meeting. Matters brought forth that require a response will be addressed by the superintendent as appropriate. All information received is subject to verification. Community input is scheduled for 30 minutes and has 2 forms. Those requesting to address the board in advance of the meeting are granted 3 minutes to address their topic, and those who sign up this evening prior to 6:30 are granted 1 minute. In a district our size, there will certainly be issues or topics which will understandably generate considerable interest from the public. It is important that members of our community be able to address the school board respectfully without disruption and without fear of intimidation from other attendees. On behalf of the board, the superintendent, and CCISD staff, we welcome your input during CCISD school board meetings. We request that everyone exhibit the respect and understanding each person rightfully deserves when addressing the school board during the public input portion of the meeting. So this evening, our first speaker is Thomas Davis.
Thank you so much. I'd first like to thank the board and the administration for your tireless interactions with the parents, the students, the teachers, the administration, the staff, each other, the TASB, the NSBA, the PTA, the NEA. Need I go on? That's at least 10. Your days are very busy. So I know that what I'm about to read to you from the same letter I read from last month will not fall on deaf ears. So here goes. I believe in family values and autonomous parental rights. Something odd has happened within our political system that has forced so many of us to be shamed into submission. As an educator myself, referring to the writer of this letter, I never thought I would witness teachers willing to throw my as well as their own parental rights away while asserting that somehow my ability to understand and know my own child could be less than theirs. I never thought the grown-ups in charge would be too busy to take time to understand a massive social phenomenon that is happening amongst young people whose childhood is vastly different than mine, and most of yours given the unfettered access to unlimited information. With that access comes the impact of psychological disruptions of the development when children are exposed to age-inappropriate content with which this young generation is bombarded. Have we forgotten how socially significant our adolescent and young adult years were? And how easily influenced we were? I know I am not alone in this thought. Imagine being that age now with the exponential rise in the use of technology and social media beyond any of our wildest thoughts. A perfect vehicle for the planning of bad and harmful ideas. This is a vulnerable age and we have to ground our youth in reality. I never thought schools would be complicit in fueling this new social contagion. The reality is that you cannot change your sex, so why are we promoting this as a normal thought experiment? Experimenting with the idea of transgenderism, which is a relatively new concept or term, is not the same as exploring one's sexuality. Frankly, it is a type of psychosexual abuse. Transgenderism is about decoupling yourself from your sexed body, which at another time in history would have been classified as a body dissociative disorder, which would have been ordered to call home to parents, and then the parents would get to decide which trusted adult, including family, would be equipped to best help their child. This is a task that should never be undertaken without the expressed written consent of parents. In fact, I believe consent rules got changed without full public discourse, especially in California, and that's a conversation for another time. And again, this was the open letter to a school board anywhere from a concerned parent of a gender-confused child. Thank you so much. I'll see you next month with the rest.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Next person is Karen Mayer Cunningham. Karen Mayer Cunningham. Okay. Next speaker is Delisha Boyd. Hello.
Good evening. My name is Delicia Boyd. I, along with other members present, represent the Lamarck Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Collectively, we are parents, grandparents, relatives, friends, and supporters of students in the Clear Creek Independent School District. Since its founding in 1913, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority has clearly distinguished itself as a public service organization that boldly confronts the challenges of African Americans and hence all Americans. One of our 22 founding, education is one of the cornerstones of our organization. One of our 22 founding members, Jessie McGuire Dent, was from the Galveston County. She graduated from Howard University and taught at Galveston Public School for several years. She won a lawsuit to ensure equal pay for Black and white teachers, awarded in 1945. We continue this fight for equality in all areas, including education. We fight to ensure our ancestors are not erased from historical teachings, as the history of our ancestors in this country is intertwined and is part of the complete history of this great nation. Hence, when it comes to education, we fight for equality and truth for all children. So as you consider which books will or will not remain on our children's library shelves.
Ms. Boyd, I'm sorry, you have 1 minute this evening, but we're happy to take what you would like to share with the board if you would provide that in written format. But I'll have to move on to the next agenda item.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is action on closed session items. Entertain a motion for item B.
Yep, Mr. President.
Mr. Cottrell?
I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation for Ms. Jennifer Garcia for the position of Executive Director of the Clear Creek Education Foundation.
Thank you, Mr. Cottrell. Any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, if you'll raise your right hand, please. And it passes unanimous. Thank you, Dr. Engel.
Yes, and just to, Ms. Garza comes from Lee College, and she has really been approved by the Clear Creek Education Foundation Board, and we're excited that she is coming, and the board has unanimously approved her, and we are thrilled that she's going to be joining the team and part of the Clear Creek ISD family.
Thank you, Dr. Engel. Next item on the agenda, item C, approval of recommendation of Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Mr. President,
Mr. Cunningham?
I move that the board approve Dr. Robert Branch for Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. Any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, all those in favor, if you'll raise your right hand. It passes unanimous. Thank you, Dr. Engel.
Okay, yes, and Dr. Branch is currently Executive Director of Secondary Education, and prior to that, he was Director of Human Resources for almost 7 years. So he has vast experience in that area. Also, I think Assistant Principal at Clear Creek, a Clearview High School principal, and a counselor at Clear Creek, and a special education teacher at Clearbrook. So a lot of experience and within our district, and we are very excited that he's joining and has been promoted to this position.
Thank you, Dr. Engel. Next item on the agenda is consent agenda. Are there any items trustees would like to pull? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Bowen?
I move that we pass the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. Any comments before we take a vote? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. And the motion passes unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Bowen. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of the 2024-2025 proposed new secondary courses.
It's great, and Dr. Silva is getting set up. She has a short presentation providing background regarding new courses, and will present a course that is directly a result of Vision 2030 and the actions approved by the board back in the spring. So thank you, Dr. Silva.
Thank you. It's great to be with you tonight, and like Dr. Engel said, we are bringing to life a recommendation. We'll start with just the typical process as a reminder. Every year we bring new courses to you for potential approval and inclusion in our EPG. some years we have many courses, like when we began the welding, we had all the welding courses coming together to you for approval last year. We minimized and streamlined a bit because of budget concerns and only went with our required courses through the state. So we had one that visited last year for approval, but typically we have an annual process and it's usually aligned. Our courses are aligned with the TEKS and sometimes aligned with district initiatives. And tonight we'll be talking about one that is aligned with district initiatives. It's a multi-step process, which essentially concludes with board approval or consideration. But prior to that, we spoke with DEIC last week and shared this course with them. This course will be a district requirement, but sometimes they're electives, sometimes they're district requirements, just kind of depends. So Dr. Engel mentioned our Vision 2030 committee and the recommendations, and one of the recommendations from that committee was to develop a 6th grade course for our students. And so we began that work. It's interesting to see a recommendation on a piece of paper and then, or maybe a bunch of sticky notes, because I think that's where it began, and then for it to come to life. We had this group that you see here who was our initial sprint team that came together, and those are parent and teacher reps from all of the 10 intermediate campuses, and they began the initial work and helped Ms. Jufrey develop the initial ideas. So our course really focuses around 2 big rocks, this idea of things that students need, tools and habits for personal effectiveness. And so that's the first piece. So we'll look just a minute at this. This is to support them as they transition from elementary school, but also to support them in life, right, in their next journey in high school and farther on. We had our sprint team that came together and identified the important habits and skills. And then we had our second group that really tied those habits and skills with the 7 habits of effective teens. And so that will be about half of the course content. Will focus around those 7 habits. The second piece was this idea of opportunities for students to learn about careers or future, what they might want to be interested in, or maybe a passion that they have that they can investigate further at a younger age. And so this is the second half, and these were the 9 big rocks of ideas that the committee decided on, and these will be expanded, and we'll look at exploring them, community partnerships to learn about them, real-world application. The goal, of course, is to support our students in understanding options and career fields, connect with their passion and their strengths, and also support them in better selecting potentially in 8th grade when they take the college and career readiness course and they think about their coursework in high school, and then obviously beyond that. So, just to summarize, we are proposing a launch course for 6th grade. And again, the purpose is just to help our 6th graders develop a sort of a foundation of those habits and tools that will help them be successful in school and outside of school. And then again, to the career exploration. This will be a year-long course, and it will be offered in 6th grade at all of our intermediate schools. So stemming directly from our Vision 2030 committee. So that's really all I have to share. Questions? See if I can answer questions.
Thank you, Dr. Silva. Any questions or comments from the board?
I mean, I'll start, not a question, but a comment. I know that we've kind of implemented this on our WAVE campuses, and it's been very successful. So I am very excited to be able to offer it to all of our 6th grade.
That was part of the conversation in the Vision 2030 committee, was that we do offer something similar, and so so that great connection.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to expand on that because you're right. The WAVE rotation or WAVE basics class was kind of the inspiration for this, I think, and we've seen how beneficial that is for WAVE students. So my question is, how does this new course interact with what already exists at the WAVE campuses? is the Wave Basics class going to kind of be this class for Wave students?
So it's funny that you timely that you are asking that. So actually tomorrow we wanted to come here obviously and get approval from you for moving forward, and then we will really get another team together that will really develop the content of the course, right? But we do have conversations actually tomorrow with various groups of people, the WAVE teachers and the WAVE staff, to figure out how that works together, as well as the science magnet and the dual language. So there are a few groups that we still have to work out the kinks to. At this moment, we are thinking the WAVE Basics course will continue for WAVE students, and this will come alongside it and parallel it for non-WAVE students. That's currently the plan. In a few years, that might change. In a few weeks, that might change. We'll keep you updated on that, but that's currently the plan.
Okay, thank you. And for non-WAVE students, this will take. What does this take the place of in the 6th grade schedule?
Another great question. So in our current schedule, we have our on-level ELA, our RLA class, we call now RLA, it is double blocked, so it's a 2-period course. And so we will be transitioning that to a single period course and then using that as well. So they will still have an opportunity for an elective and that type of thing.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Silver. Seeing no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President.
Mr. Bowen?
I move that we, let me scroll to it in the packet. I move that we approve the proposed new secondary course as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, if you'll raise your right hand. It passes unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with no further business before the board, we'll adjourn at 7:45.